that we had a couple issues with the GoPro.
Yeah, so like the last 5 episodes. So people that have been tuning into the Iron Thing podcast, apologize for the technical difficulty, but it's part of the process, you know?
It's a learning process.
Yeah.
It is.
I think a lot of people we're kind of perfectionists, you know, we're new at this craft, but I think like so you think you get a product, you get the standard GoPro. It's been around forever. Pretty much like you can chuck the thing off a cliff. In the water, it's still going to record.
Oh, it's like X-ray proof.
Yeah.
Through intense heat,
I mean, come on.
waterproof. These guys take it in like Arctic waters. Like what?
Yeah. So now the issue we come to find is that when you physically buy the GoPro, it doesn't come with the memory card that makes the GoPro function.
It doesn't come with a memory card. Period.
At all. Oh,
At all.
even worse.
Even worse. Yeah. So like when we got the GoPro,
right,
did not come with the memory card. I went to Best Buy, and of course, some guy helps me saying, "Oh, you know, like this is the memory card you're gonna need with it. It'll be fine." Okay, great. So we do a couple episodes. It works,
and then it does that beep beep beep,
and then it starts doing the
shuts
beep, beep,
up.
beep, beep, beep. So if you guys have been seeing my face on the screen.
Yeah.
This face.
Yeah.
That's why.
When you see Collin's face show up.
checking the GoPro.
Dude, it makes no sense.
It turns out, though, after doing research and getting on the phone with their like customer support line and going back into Best Buy and talking to the same guy I did before. Geek Squad. There is actually a list on GoPro that they have like approved SD cards that
like
work
approved
with their
vendors
cameras.
or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And for whatever reason, they don't like highlight that list or like, you know, I mean, the guy I was working with, he's like, I've never even heard of this. So it's like
weird.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because I've heard like, maybe this is fake news. I don't know, but I've heard, I'm going to look it up real quick. I heard that GoPro was in some trouble. And I don't know if, the product's great. Oh, it says like, I type in GoPro, it says GoPro Stuck, GoPro sucks, GoPro battery life.
But they don't.
Yeah,
they don't suck. It's
it's a dope product. But you'd think like they'd make it. I mean, nowadays people want kind of like the rip it open, charge it, plug it in, and it's ready to go. Yep. You know, and so just GoPro. Maybe want to hook them up with that. Maybe hey, if you got to charge a little more, go for it. I mean, if you got to charge a little bit more money to add that memory card in there, I mean, do you know how many people would just be like, I mean, how many times have I brought this up to people in conversation? They're like, wait, it doesn't come with a memory card?
Yeah.
That's their reaction.
Our tech guy, Adam, he couldn't believe that. Yeah.
He's like, I thought it comes with one. I'm like, no, dude, it doesn't. So this is the first or the 12th episode, and now we have the new memory card so far. Not jinxing it. We're about a couple minutes in. Yeah. I don't know if that's wood. Don't know if that's wood, but
knock on wood.
Yeah, so anyway, we're sorry guys, but we're back in biz. The GoPro's fired up.
It is. It's part of the process, and that's kind of what I love about the show is that we're not afraid to hide mistakes.
No.
Like
I hate when they edit it. I mean,
yeah, we're not going to heavily edit things. Like we'll string together stuff if audio drops.
Yeah, it's about the content. I mean, we had a couple things where we had to tweak it a little bit, but yeah, again, you're going to be the most harsh on your own show and whatever you do to bring people good content. So
although I was even like the other day, I was like, I think we should get another mic. So ordered another mic.
Got another mic coming.
Hopefully that'll be even better. And of course, Amazon hasn't. What is going on with Amazon?
Dude, it just had, so see all these right here?
Yeah.
See all these boxes right here? So Uline is, they're a vendor that gives you like bags and boxes for shipping apparel. Big gulps. 1 second.
It's a water break.
That's a big thing of water. Stay hydrated, people.
By the way,
delivered.
I just did that. The Hunger Games cut.
Oh,
nothing but water for 36 hours.
Dude.
It sucked.
Yeah,
it wasn't fun.
Yeah,
but I was really hydrated.
Yeah.
And then when I woke up in the morning, like yellow pea. I was really neon.
Yeah, probably because you're dehydrated at that point in the morning. You typically are.
I'm gonna attribute that to a week of hockey. Straight.
By the way, we'll get on to that. Congratulations winning the championship.
Oh, thank you.
We'll tell the people about that. So back to our Amazon rant. These boxes are for everyone that when they order Ironing Fitness apparel, hats, snapbacks, beanies, whatever. Obviously, we don't want to crush them, so we ship all the orders in these.
Right.
Click the button. It was Prime. Supposed to be here on the 6th. Showed up at the warehouse on the 10th. Like, that's not the 6th.
No, it's not.
And you're Prime. So it's like, I get it if you're not Prime and you're stating, hey, we'll be here on the 10th. Great. But it's not just me. You had an issue recently, and I talked to a couple other people that use Amazon, and they're like, dude, the shipping has sucked lately.
Mm-hmm. No, I've been a proud Amazon user for years. For whatever reason, I think back in 2012, 2011, I hope it was, I hope I don't sound stupid. I hope it was around that. I think I remember ordering stuff from it in college.
Oh, you did? I never did that.
I have never had an issue with any of their shipping. Sure. They've been flawless up until these last 6 months, and I think this is my third order now that they're like, we're sorry, like it's going to be delayed.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it happens. I mean, we ship. We're obviously not Amazon, but we ship orders out every day. But when you say it's going to be there, and then they change it, that sucks.
It does.
So
suck.
I'm a little on edge with Amazon right now. I don't know.
I get it because they have. I mean, to be frank, I'm surprised that it hadn't happened until this point. Like, not one screwed up order, but now all of a sudden, maybe the shit's just hitting the fan, and maybe it's just like a little stretch. But
maybe it's just too much.
Hey, it makes me appreciate like what you guys do more because you like personally walk it to the freaking shipping office and make sure every order's out on time.
Yeah, I mean, like we have a bin right there full of orders. They're gonna go out, and we make sure we hit that cutoff before So here in Minneapolis, it's 5, so it's like 3:40. So it's one of those things for us. We try to. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sit in the bin longer than a day. Now, if we have like a big sale, we just had our spring...
which we're going to talk about. Let's talk about the spring sale.
Yeah, we actually had the spring sale. We had our...
Custom bags.
Yeah, we had that. We had our end of fall clearance sale leading up to spring, which we'll talk about that. But now in those kind of situations, we get like hundreds of orders coming in that are just, it's 30% off. So it's like... Yeah, your order might sit there for like a day, maybe two, but like we definitely try not to go. But like a lot of people, I think they're really cool about it. But if you order something on Friday night and we don't get to it Saturday morning, it's going to sit till Monday because obviously USPS is closed on Sunday. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things we kind of brushed on this before, but I guess people in their mind, they hold Amazon as like the staple of like shipping, and you have to kind of compete at that level. So we just make sure like that we're on top of it.
You are charging $90 a year for membership. It's
totally.
Like people expect something like
that. For sure.
What is that, $90? And I think it's very worth it. I really do. I love that.
But for what, Amazon?
Yeah, for 2 days shipping, you get access to like all
the
Prime, like the videos, everything. Yeah. So I think it's a great deal.
Yeah, for sure.
They just have to make sure like it's consistency. How many times have we talked about that?
Yeah, we have. So. Yeah, another episode before. But yeah, I mean, it's even for myself. Like I just ordered a couple shirts from a brand I like in Detroit, Start. They have really cool stuff. Cade got me hooked on them.
You know who's bad at shipping?
Who's that?
I just thought of. I love the product, but really bad at shipping.
Who's that?
Ethica.
Oh yeah, they really got to work on that. They, I think I'm wearing their shit right now. Yeah, Ethica.
I pretty much wear it. Like I love their product. It's amazing.
Yeah, they make good stuff. It's just I don't know if it's a vending.
Yeah.
I mean, from what I know, it's Ryan Scheckler, the pro skateboarders. He's part owner of the brand, and they ship out of San Clemente, like where he's from. So I mean, they must have a warehouse, and it's kind of like. I don't know if they're getting that many orders or what the deal is, but it's like, dude, you just have underwear that's already prepackaged.
Yeah.
Like, it's even easier to ship it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Literally just drop it in the bag.
Ours varies from, like, T-shirts to hoodies to pants to whatever, but either way, I mean, I think it's just one of those things that maybe it's a volume thing. I don't know,
Yeah.
But, yeah, so anyway, so we had the sale. It went really well. And to announce it, so tomorrow, this probably won't air until maybe late Thursday. We're, like, a little bit behind this week. But our couple new spring items, so we're falling into spring now. Not really in Minneapolis because the weather still blows ass here. But, we have the new spring stuff dropping tomorrow noon Central Time. So make sure to hop on the site, grab these items. Actually, one of them is what I'm wearing right now. It's Tatted Legends.
Shirt. I've got that shirt in red.
In red and burgundy. And now
actually this morning. Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah, and then we changed it. We changed the colorway. Such a popular design. This is like really cool. It's like a stone gray, it's called. So we did it on that. There's like 4 items that we're dropping tomorrow. Wait, 2 new tank tops, 2 t-shirts, and 2 girls items. And then like already on the whiteboard, we're dropping a bunch of new stuff like a week later after that. So yeah, man, it's going to be good. So we're excited. We're finally in a little bit warmer weather, starting to go that direction. And
today it's really nice out. There is still
it's about 50-something. Yeah,
unfortunately, snow on the ground. I think we're going to get it like later this week. It's not going to stick. But it's like, come on, April.
Well, I just looked at Jared's Insta story, and it said Arizona 97. He's like, oh god. I'm like, yeah, I'd take it.
I know. It's like it's kind of sad when those guys are going inside to escape the heat. And it's like, can we can we
it's a little different for us, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah, I mean, we're excited for the new sale. We'll get this episode right away up for you guys. And Yeah, I mean, you want to fill in on today's topic, and we'll get rolling.
Yeah, we'll jump into today's topic. So today's topic, guys, is actually you called me about 2 weeks ago and suggested this, and I think it's a really good idea.
Yeah.
It's about getting stuck.
Yeah.
And I guess like diving into that a little deep dive.
Deep dive.
Yeah, it's just like whether that's in your personal life, whether that's in business.
Yep.
I mean, you can get stuck in so many areas, and I mean, tell the people you just had a day. You were like, "Hey, man, I felt not good yesterday."
Yeah, it's funny. You and I, we know each other probably better than most people. Because we not only train together, but then outside of that, we're also friends as well too. Mm-hmm. But it's like, I was just in a funk, and then I kind of was trying to just figure out. I literally spent the whole day like trying to figure out why was I in that funk, and then my such drastic lack of motivation yesterday. Mm-hmm. It blew my mind. Like I was freaking out a little bit because I'm like, I haven't felt this way. I can't remember. Like,
Probably
it's been
college.
Those days in college. But I mean, even like I'm talking about like even in this like era of my life where I'm like, dude, what is going on? Like, and then I'm thinking, oh, maybe I'm getting sick. Felt a little bit better today. It felt a lot better today. I don't know. It was just one of those days where the whole day kind of got stretched out. I'm like, I could just go to bed and like, let's start over tomorrow. Let's start fresh.
Yeah.
And so if I'm feeling it and I've got a million things going on, I know it happens to everyone in some way, shape, or form, no matter what you do, if it's school, if it's personal stuff. I also then was thinking about it today, not in a negative way, but looking at like, maybe actually this is kind of looking as a positive, like from getting stuck, you kind of learn, that it's okay. It's okay to have these moments of like, dude, today blows. Like, what's going on? And I just feel I need to kind of embrace that on a positive aspect and go, actually, my life's not super crappy, And I'm not saying that I'm like, woe is me, my life's bad. It's just you're just in a funk. Like the gray cloud was over my head.
You have the ER complex.
Yes, that whole day. And I was like, what is going on? And now I look at it like, hey, that happens. Maybe it's just, now if it happened more consistently, I think that'd be a problem. And then I need to figure out a way to address that. But I think it's okay. I think it's one of those that it does happen to everybody. And it's how to kind of get out of that funk and then keep moving forward.
And that's the thing. It's just about going back to consistency.
Yeah.
Like I have had those days, probably like more often than you've had them. If this is your only one, like I probably had that. That actually makes sense. The day after I came back from San Diego, coming back to this weather. But it's like, I was kind of in a funk that day.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is too. I'm going to Hawaii soon for, a little getaway vacation. But I mean, I do think maybe it is a seasonal depression. I think that could be a portion of it. Like, I think it's many factors that kind of add up to then deliver this final blow of like, dude, like,
defeat.
Yeah, you're like in the dumps now. And I think it's kind of a lot of those factors. And I think changing the scenery a little bit, like shaking it up a little bit is a good thing. And I have looked at it like, dude, I haven't gone on a vacation since last year. Mm-hmm. And to me, that's too long of a gap.
There's a hair past a freckle.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And so for me, I think just traveling, I am with the brand now more consistently, but I feel that, we're doing the new record. So I'm flying out on Sunday to do the new Throw the Fight album, so that's kind of cool. It's like it gives you a new, it gives you a new like, hey, I can still focus on the clothing brand. It'll be operating and running here. I'll be gone for like 3-4 days in a new city I've never been. Mm-hmm. Granted, I won't be really leaving a studio, but it's just to me, I think that's the one thing is just keeping you occupied and busy and kind of just when you constantly do the same thing over and over and over, your body's like, I need to shake this up a little bit, Mm-hmm. But I did feel like a lot of times with the brand, you sit there and you go, there's always something to do, but I wanted to make sure like you don't question if what you're doing is right or wrong is the main focus, but like maybe your day of objectives, like, you question and you're just like, I did this yesterday. Am I kind of moving in the right direction? Then I'm like, yeah, anything works. I also have to pull back and say that's the beauty of it is there's no answer to it. And anything I do is going to benefit what I'm trying to accomplish with the brand. So,
well, I guess what would you tell people who feel like they're stuck in a rut? Like, let's say they've had, a typical 9-to-5 job.
Sure.
That they're working, or maybe they're not doing as well as they want to in school, kind of wondering if that's for them. They're looking to change paths or courses, and they have these days, like multiple days in a row, and it's at the point where they're kind of wondering, like, if change is necessary.
Yeah, that's like, another
flip. What do you say to that?
Yeah, actually, you were kind of stumbling upon something. The one thing I don't necessarily believe in is people go, well, I need to completely uproot my life, completely change it, and that'll make it better.
That's pretty drastic.
Right, and people think that. If I just move states,
but I think
my life will be better.
I do.
You know what I mean?
I think we should define.
We can talk about that, but...
Yeah, I think we just should define that, like, it is normal. I agree. I think it is normal to have an off day every once in a while. It's like, like, I would say, right, like, off the bat, again, I'm not a psychologist or anything, right. But, it's, people have off days. They just do. Like, some people have off weeks.
Totally.
Man. Like, there's definitely, I've had a week where I've been like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting nothing done. Like,
yeah.
For me, I guess my personal experience with that would be with writing. So, just working on, a young adult's book right now. That's what I'm doing in my spare time, like a project. But there are definitely, like, entire days, like, I'll go and I'll work on it for a couple hours, and then, like, I'm not getting to the point where I want to get.
Totally.
Bleeds into the rest of my day. I'm kind of, like, not in the greatest mood.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, it happens for whatever you may be doing.
Yeah, it's weird, man. But maybe we're also supposed to not know the answer to that, and that's just part of how it is. I mean, I don't believe everyone's supposed to be happy-go-lucky 24/7. You know,
those people are weird. I think so.
And I think it could be a false, front, maybe.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times people go, go, and that could be another thing. A lot of people, like, I think you even said today, you're like, when's a day you just didn't do anything? Like, and just chill?
That, yeah.
And I'm like, I couldn't tell you, but like, sometimes I don't know. Maybe that's not the answer either, too. I don't know. I just feel like I try to take a minute and go, okay, if I'm going this route, now to boost my day, I don't go, let me think about someone who's like less fortunate. But it did happen where I saw a guy, I was getting Starbucks, coffee. And there was a guy that was in a wheelchair and was happy as could be. And he was like, couldn't really function. I mean, didn't have any motor skills, and he's like basically drooling on himself. But he smiled ear to ear, and he's waving to people in the store, and I'm just like, okay, Jeff, get your shit together. It's what I thought.
Yeah,
because it was like it puts you in check.
About.
Yeah, and it's like I'm healthy, you got a good family, and it's like I'm doing this. It's like helping out other people. I just think it's always you have to kind of just take a minute, reset, and go, it's all good. Things are good.
It does. But this also, I do want to take a second and mention it. So going way back, like, to the mental health episode.
Yeah.
This is why I truly believe everybody should have a therapist.
Sure.
It's just someone to talk to.
Yeah.
And, like, keep you on track. Because, again, I will repeat this. No one's life is so perfect where they don't need to talk about anything.
That's true.
No one.
That's true.
And it's,
Yeah, I mean, and then a lot of times people deal, like, with they kind of go through therapy or whatever by, if it's working out, writing. I mean, there's endless things, hobby that's their version of therapy.
Do you know how stressful that is for people? Student debt.
Student loan, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah. And I think, and then going back to asking or answering what you said, where you said, what should people do if they feel stuck?
If they're like, and again, so like, we'll talk more about, obviously, like the one-offs, as I guess maybe we can coin them, but more.
That's what I had yesterday. Oh, God.
No, I think one-offs are totally normal, but for people who like have consistently, like, the one-offs turn into like 1 weeks and then 1 month's off, and then all of a sudden, like, half a year goes by and you're like, what did I do?
Yeah, for sure.
I can, my dad was in that point.
Was he really?
Yep. He was at that point for a couple years, and like his was a marriage issue.
Right.
So, I mean, it just happens with so much, and then work was getting to him, and he needed to change something up, and for him, like, it was a divorce. That was the answer. And then they, ended up being way happier apart, and he got refocused on his work. He actually had a better relationship with me and my sister because of that.
There you go.
And that was like an example, I guess, of drastic change.
Yeah, that's pretty drastic. But I mean, it took
that's what
2 years plus for him to finally make that drastic decision.
It was going on like 5 years. Like, this was a long time.
Totally.
And,
Yeah, I think for, most people, just realizing the pattern, right? It's kind of like journaling your food and writing down, pay attention to what's going on. So, if one day turns to 5, 5 turns to 2 months, 2 months turns to a year, well, clearly something's wrong, you know? I think a lot of times what people don't realize is potentially their career or their job they're currently in segues into what they really want to do down the road. So don't get super bent out of shape. I mean, I'm 33. I'm young. But when I hear like a 22-year-old lose his shit, I'm like, I don't have what I want in life. I'm like, dude, you're fine. Like, you're 22, calm down. You know, I think a lot of people, they might be hard on themselves, but they think like they should have what they want or that career.
Why is that instant gratification?
You got it. Yeah, and they think like they should have that. I'm like, you have 5 more jobs to do before you're going to land and really knock out of the park that thing you've always wanted to not only be but do, which then turns into this massive whatever. I mean, it can be an art company. I mean, you know what I mean? It could be a music thing, whatever.
And I think this is, again, I think social media is a big blessing, but I also think it's a curse.
Sure.
And I think this is the curse part of it, honestly, where, you know, there are very successful... Yeah, right. That's a great example. Thank you. You just looked at his phone for you guys listening.
Wait, what did you say? Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. On iTunes or Spotify.
Yeah.
Being a dick. I can't stand that on dates. By the way. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, it was bad.
It was bad.
I was eating out.
I'm so thankful. I love her to death. Rachel never does that. So it's so awesome.
Well, I was out with Mike and I'm like, dude, look at that. It was a couple.
Yeah, just on their phones, like
they were doing this, sitting
not
side by
even
side,
looking at each other.
Didn't talk the whole time. I was like, yikes. Doesn't look good. But anyway,
yeah. Going back on that, I'm trying to totally remember. Brain fart.
About what you were talking about? No, you were just saying about the what you hated about social media.
Oh, yes. Like, because those success stories do exist and they're out there. Like with someone who, like, you know, in their 20s, in their teens, figure something out and it becomes a mega hit.
Totally.
And because we're all plugged into social media and we're all following what everyone else is following, this starts to seem like the norm. It really does. Yeah. Because if you follow all these people, then what do you get on your feed every morning? Like all the success stories. Right. But you got to realize for every one of those success stories, I don't know what the ratio, like tens of thousands,
right?
Hundreds of thousands.
Probably.
What is that? Like, you know, someone recently I knew was talking about, you know, their copywriting job. And hey, I've been in a company for 6 months and I don't feel like I'm making any sort of impact whatsoever. And it's like, dude, you've been there 6 months.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it takes 2 to 3 years just to get promoted from a junior to like a regular.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I never compare. I mean, it's just like the music industry. I've been in the same band for years, and trust me, there's been moments where I'm like, what am I doing? Right? Who knows? We could do this new record, not jinxing it. Song pops off, someone knows somebody, you're signed, boom, like you're the next big thing on the block. I mean, nothing shocks me anymore, especially like with the brand and, you know, networking and meeting certain people. I mean, it's as simple as like, you know, some brand that you've been a huge fan of for years. I mean, like I've told stories probably on the podcast, like Benny Gold, Josh from Rebel 8. I mean, these streetwear like icons that I got into the streetwear with literally sent me a message on Instagram. I'm like, holy crap, these dudes,
idols,
they talk to me, like this is cool. But then also now the blessing of that is everyone's just people. So I treat everybody with respect unless they completely are assholes and disrespect you. But, you know, these guys are great, and they're still doing it. They've been around since 2003, pre the internet curve of, like, there was internet, but pre-social media. And just the fact I can instantly opt in, or they can see the brand that I'm working hard on in 2 seconds. So to me, that just shows, hey, you got to have good product and make good stuff to kind of hold your own and, you know, in the society that we're in currently.
But kind of trailing off that a little bit too, and going back to like, I'm going to be the pessimist of the social media.
Sure.
I'm going to be the social media pessimist for this episode.
That's all right.
So we have to put on a good front for social media, right? It was the same thing when I was doing copywriting stuff. Hey, like, you know, we go X amount of years and you spend so much time at each of these projects and someone is going to take a look at that for probably less than a minute per project.
Right.
So it has to be amazing and it has to look great.
Right.
But then you go behind the scenes, and behind the scenes is what people don't see. And that's where I think, like, we're really talking about where the struggle happens. And where people aren't seeing other people have that because people hide it on social media. You don't get to see past, like...
They do.
Jazz.
The thing is, I feel as any brand, whatever it is, if it's a food company, whatever you're doing, clothing, you have to look at how you deliver that message. One, being truthful and honest, not being fabricated. It's like it's like a rapper rapping and talking about the streets, but he lived in the suburbs. Like, that's the most phony, like... thing to do. You just don't do that.
Yeah.
So it's the same kind of thing. Like, we've done a few videos on YouTube where we filmed the come up kind of story where it's like, I don't need to go in a shitload of detail of like, hey, that's why, again, why we're doing the podcast is we have certain topics, we cover them. You know, if people have questions, I'll answer them. People can ask me stuff. But I think a lot of times too, you can use it as your, not advantage, but people like that feel good. You know, people at the end of the day, whatever you want to feel good. So if you watch a story and you're like, dude, this guy came from nothing to something and created something on his own, or he or she, you know, it's how you deliver that message, I feel, is what, and people can tell if it's phony pretty good. I mean, if you can't, it is what it is. You know, I think the one thing that's huge and phony is online personal training. We've discussed that. It's like, oh my gosh, anyone with six-pack abs on the internet is now a trainer. So, you know, but you have to take the mentality of like, do your research with everything. You know, if it's apparel brands, if it's, you know, bands, music, food, whatever, because everything's so accessible now. But yeah, I mean, the come up story is great, man. I love those stories. I think they're awesome. But, I mean, you hear it the other way, too. People that have been given everything, they can still work their butt off and do the same kind of thing someone that started from nothing. You know what I mean? I just think it depends on their work ethic, who they are, and what they really want to accomplish with whatever they have. You know, because...
Well, I guess, like, getting back to, like, the whole feeling like you're in a rut story or feeling like you're stuck. And, again, I know we've talked about this on a previous episode. There is no blueprint for figuring out like what you want to do.
Dude, I can say it 100 times though, and I still get people asking me, "What do I do? What do I do?"
But it's
and I just want to be like, "Did you not hear the other 800 times when we said there is no right or wrong?" It's just I think it's more risk. People don't want to take any risk.
Well,
they want to just that for sure
to find yourself. Yeah, like because I guess what I would say to the person if they're working a 9-to-5 job and they're not happy and they hate every minute of it, and you know I think you've talked about this too. Is it goes back to drive. And being okay, so if I need the money from this job, and I have to go work and put on my face 9 to 5, but it's like you have to also dig really deep, and I get it. Like it sucks ass to come home and like to like do another thing, but if you're really passionate about something, it like start to kind of drift more into your project from what your day job is. But
and that's the thing, man. Is like I just say that's the talkers or the doers. You know, like those are the 5% or the low percent of people. They're going to make something happen. And they're few and far between. Like, it's a lot of jaw-jacking, a lot of talking. People just, I'm going to complain. I'm going to bitch. I'm going to do this. And I'm like, why don't you do your thing you like when you go home and not turn on fucking Netflix?
It's the truth.
It's like, why are you doing that? Because right there is the proof that, one, you're not going to be successful in what you want to do and whatever level you determine success. But two, your passion is really not your passion.
Your passion just got outshadowed by season 7 of Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, great season. Great season.
No, but yeah,
that's
you value
the thing,
a TV show more than you value like pursuing what you want to do.
Yeah, and like it's like anything. There's certain things that I kind of, and I've had this too. Like, I've worked on some stuff musically, and I'm just not vibing it. And then all of a sudden, we write a couple things, and I'm like really feeling. You get this itch or this bug, but no one cares except you, right?
I think that's the most important lesson for people to take home.
And it's like with anything, it's like, dude, that's what I don't like. People just need to. Actually, it was awesome. He actually responded to me, Rob Bailey of Flagner Fail. I was chatting with him a little bit. Super cool. Here's an example of someone that does it on their own. Started from nothing, and this dude DM'd him. I actually want to look up what he posted. It was awesome because he said it's so short and sweet.
This was the message I think you showed me about starting a clothing brand, right?
Yeah, some kid. It's like the common question of like, hey man, I want to do.
Can you lay it out for me?
Yeah, here it is right here. Actually, I have the actual quote. So Rob Bailey just responded with like a one little paragraph. This kid goes, or guy says, question for you. I'm attempting to create a clothing line and I just need advice. Money is tight in the startup and I want to buy everything, not get any loans. Sounds already smart, but money's going to be tight. Yeah. But so the question is, where the hell do I find clothing online? Everything I am finding looks like mass-produced garbage, stuff I wouldn't want to wear myself. Okay? So he blocks out the kids, Insta, so he doesn't get hate mail, which is nice. He says, bro, that's the fun part. Figuring it out without any money. You are in the part of the process that lets you know if you should actually own a line or not. Good luck, man. Enjoy the ride. I was like, thank you so much for sending that to that guy.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you either that will do two things. Light the fire under that kid's ass to make him just destroy everybody. Or he's just going to curl up in a ball and be like, it's not for me. And I get like super, for me, I get really passionate about it. But I also get like want to shake people. I just like, you don't get it. And they're like, well, what? I go, everything you're telling me is full of shit. Like, your passion is not your passion. Like, I want to be in a band. What are you going to do to be an artist? What are you going to do to do a clothing line? What are you going to do to be the best painter in the world or best artist or best tattoo artist or whatever? It's just mind-boggling to me that we have all these things to access at our fingertips that makes everything more effortless, but now people are doing less of the work. And I'm doing air quotes, the actual hard work to do it. Does that make sense? So I try to figure that out, but there's a great example of I get DMs and we're not nearly as big as like Flagner Fail is, but I can imagine what his phone is getting daily, and I try to respond as many people, but I think it's kind of disheartening, to be honest with you. I didn't have a blueprint, not perfect. I have a lot of work ahead of me, but he took the words right out of my mouth, man. I look back at like the trademark, that lawsuit, and I look back at this, and it's like all the nights of hours and hours and hours of no sleep, and then you're just kind of like, what am I doing? This is nuts. And then you look forward and you're like, that was fucking awesome, So I kind of like also too. It's great when people communicate too. When people say we've helped them. I missed him yesterday. It sucks. Alec was telling me he came in yesterday. A guy came in locally, bought like $400 or $500 in clothes. But we inspired him on the clothing brand because he's like really likes the look of it. And he's like, it's great, but he lost like 300 pounds.
That's incredible.
Like insane. Like a ton of weight, changed his life, and now he's a huge supporter of the brand. And hopefully he comes and I get to meet him. But that's the kind of stories, man, that like make you like, in those shitty days where you're just like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
It like hits home where you're like, dude, you're good. And it correlates even with the band when we've had nights. The Canada tour, rig broke down every show before I'm like, dude, what are we doing? We should just call it a day and go home. Then we met people that haven't seen us in 4 years and they like knew us by name and they're like, dude, this song saved my life, So those moments, like, we appreciate that. Like, that really keeps the ball and the wheels going, and you know what I mean?
Well, and I think this is maybe a good time to say, for those bad days or for those days when you feel like you're in a rut, for me, like, this happens more often. It's like, oh, should I go work out or not? It's like, put some motivational quote or put a picture or like have, like, that's honestly a tip. Have some sort of token or memento on hand that you can look at to motivate you in those really hard moments. For me, it's, I have my cousin. She's awesome. Love her to death. She's getting married in 6 weeks. It's like, what? I want to make myself awesome for your wedding and look good and, be there to support you. So
chiseled man.
Chiseled man. No. But yeah, awesome. It's like, that was my motivation. Like, I don't really want to hit abs. I'm kind of tired after my workout. It's like, no. It's like, do it. Do the cut. Go support it. It's like you're doing something for someone else. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, like, look your best, be your best, and have a great time.
Yeah, and then I think it does, in a reflects and people notice that, and then they start to like, oh, what's he drinking? What's he on? And it creates positivity. So, yeah, for me, it's, I try to really take a step back, realize if I have a crappy day or I'm in a rut, look at something like, go through my phone, look at something like a nice comment someone said. Mm-hmm. Hey man, just wanted to say, like, people said like just really cool shit, man. Like, hey, just wanted to say what you guys are doing is great. That's simple. Have an awesome day. Keep it up. I'm like, oh,
it's the power of positivity, dude.
That just made my day.
Yeah, pass it on.
Yeah, and I just think, please, guys, more people do that. Even if it's a simple, hey, how you doing, to a coworker. Something looks different. You're looking, good, or like, you know what I mean? Just like, I just feel we don't get that enough. We get so drawn into, our phones and ourselves, that we don't keep our heads up and we
pay
notice
attention to how awesome other people's lives seem, and we don't pay attention to the reality of living ours. And that's it. It's like, that's what I always get told, and I really believe that. It's like, life is a journey, it's a process.
Yeah.
And it does. It ebbs and flows. It has ups and downs. It's normal to have bad days. It's normal to have a bad week. But if you're consistently feeling bad, then that means probably it's time to change something.
Yeah, I think that, and also if you're are projecting that onto others. Mm-hmm. That is really bad. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't want that. Like, if you're in a rut and then everything around you starts affecting everyone that's close to you in a negative way, yeah, there's something bad that you need to change.
Well, you can speak to that with an ex-relationship you had. I remember you, dating that person, and you weren't yourself. It was actually weird.
It's like, you don't realize that you're not yourself, which is crazy.
And then you told me the story where I think it was Mikey B. Someone said at a baseball game to you, like, dude, you don't seem like yourself.
I'm trying to think. Was that a recent story?
No, this was like, before you met Mandy.
You're saying like he said that to me.
Yeah, he said that to
gotcha.
you. And then he was like, like, you're just not you. And you can tell, so.
Yeah, just not being who you are. And then, we're guilty of getting, oh yeah, I should probably look in the mirror, Mm-hmm.
And that's so hard to do. It is. Like, it's really hard. And I think we should talk about this too.
Sure.
I mean, take a look in the mirror, stop projecting onto other people. Yeah. You know why? It's kind of crazy. It's a psychology principle, I guess.
Okay.
But the more we dislike something, it's because we see that in ourselves.
Yeah,
a lot of the time. I can completely identify with that.
Sure.
There are some traits that I see in other people. I'm like, I really don't like you, and then it's like, I remember, like, I still deal with that a lot, and that's why I really don't like it.
For sure.
It's hard. Yeah,
it is. I mean, I think you're not there to please everybody, mm-hmm. but I feel like there's a different, right and wrong, good and bad, kind and you're a dickhead. Mm-hmm. There's that level of, again, this boils back down to common sense and how you're raised, from when you're younger to now. And yeah, man, I mean, taking it, I mean, I've had people say stuff about me, but it was totally not you're an asshole. It's well, I know I'm not. And if you're the one of everyone saying that, we'll go with the common issue here is probably you. But if everyone's yeah, you're a jerk, that's when you need to reevaluate stuff and mm-hmm. go, dude, there's something wrong on my end. And everyone can always improve, though. That's the thing is, I
improvement
can't...
never stops.
Oh, never. Yeah. Even when you're 80, retired, and you're just chilling on the beach all day. It's
mm-hmm.
you can still change stuff. And I think, when you move from going, having these bad days... today. Actually, today is the first day post the shitty day. So yesterday was my crappy day. Now today I'm quite a bit better. I mean, my body language is better. Everything just feels a lot better. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely a turn in the right direction. But it's just crazy how I think knowing when you're in a funk, it's okay. But then go, what's the track record of that? And then how do I also turn that off or change it to a positive, Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it kind of crazy. The guy we were talking about earlier,
our special guest
in the episode, David. So thanks a lot for coming in, man. It was cool. He came in with his 2 kids, and he was the dude that I actually just met him, so I'm pumped he came in during this time.
He was the guy that did all the weight loss.
Yeah,
we were talking
he lost a ton of weight, and then he said he wanted to opt into a brand that is basically spoke, to him and mm-hmm. what he is, and yeah, it's cool, man. It's awesome. He bought all new gear, dropped a ton of money, and so I literally think he owns every piece of Iron and Ink now. So that's cool.
He's I just kind of want to acknowledge how Is there like a mental thing that happens? Like you talk about someone and then, or like you think about something and then like you see them later or it happens? Like I swear to God that happens more often than not. It is
I love
weird.
how you bring him up in the beginning of the episode.
And literally shows up during the episode.
Yeah, to buy because the new spring stuff, he just grabbed one of those new shirts. So it's pretty cool, man. It's awesome too, like, you know, he even said that he threw out a bunch of stuff from old brands that he used to wear and stuff, and he's like, it wasn't his thing. Like this brand, I mean, he's heavily tattooed, neck tats. He's a hairstylist. Yeah, he's a hairstylist. So, and his buddies are in the music industry and stuff, which is really cool. So it's funny. It's a small world, man. Like he was like, oh, you know, this person and that person, and a lot of, you know, similar people in the fitness world and music too, which is super cool. So yeah, it makes me, you know, even it's a great spin on the day for sure. Like having a crappy day, turning it into a positive. Like
it's kind of cool.
Yeah, and it's cool when he comes in and then, you know, he tells his story like, oh, your clothing brand helped, you know, kind of just motivate me or whatever it does, man. So it kind of shows people it's a little more than just a t-shirt, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we were just talking about that. Yeah. It's like, you know, just nice power of positivity. Yeah. We were literally just talking about that.
Yeah, it definitely makes your day. And then it just snowballs, you know, because 10 hours from now, you're already into the next day.
I love when you do that.
You like
See,
that?
Mine is yes, no.
Yes,
That's
no,
my trick. I always say that, yes, no.
I'm not wearing one of my watches.
And then Jeff does the thing where he's not wearing his watch.
Right here.
Looks at the time.
Yeah, so it's cool, man. Like, and so it is very interesting, though, how, like, a split second can really take your day from horrible to, holy shit, it got great. Like that. It's so weird to me. Yeah. It's not a gradual thing. It's more like on-off switch, you know?
Yep.
So, yeah, thanks a lot, David, for the support, man. That's super cool, and I'm sure he's going to listen to the podcast now. I think he just found out about it, so that's cool. And then,
hey, let's spread the word.
Get him in the mix.
I mean, right before David came in, before the break, we were talking about projection.
Yeah.
And just like how it's not good if you get to the point where you're projecting your bad feelings on everyone else and making them feel bad. I mean, I remember Elliot from Throw the Fight, Jared from Throw the Fight. They were talking about.
Oh, you mean Bless the
Fall? Sorry, not Throw
Wrong
the Fight.
band.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Wah, wah.
Yeah. Wah, wah. But they were talking about like the weightlifting scenario at like Warped Tour, where people were like getting mad at them for like weightlifting, and they're just like, dude, we're just, you know, stop being a dick. Yeah. Like we're just taking care of ourselves and feeling
really
better.
Then the flip coin is then you have people that like think it's super cool. And they're like, oh, what? Like, I look at it like those people that are like talking bad about those dudes. It's like you just can't do it. Mm-hmm. Anybody can do it, but like let them do what they want to do. They're not harming anybody. They're bettering their mental and physical.
When I think it's pretty telling when you like someone is actively trying to better themselves and they're not hurting anybody, and you're being mad about them for that. Then that's when you kind of have a problem.
Crazy, yeah, big time.
And I've seen that before. I mean, it's happened to me in a horrible past relationship.
Yeah,
where I think I remember, you know, she wasn't happy that I was working out all the time.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. Yeah, it's like just trying to better myself. So
yeah, for sure, man. I think it's good. I think more people need to do that. And sometimes, you know, whatever it is, if it's listening to podcasts, talking to a friend, you know, meditation, like people do yoga, meditation. Yes. I'm a huge believer in that.
What about like just 5 minutes a day?
Yeah.
Meditation. I feel like acupuncture works. Let's talk a little bit about some other methods. Here's one that I thought of, actually just remembered.
Yep.
It's a trick that you can do. Send yourself a nice email or a text message.
Okay.
Seriously. When you wake up in the morning, you're like, if you need it.
Damn, you look good.
No, but like, if you're really down in the dumps, just say something nice to yourself. Like, you have to change.
You are beautiful. You are gorgeous.
You have to change like the internal dialogue going on. If you're down on yourself, that's important to talk about. If you're always down on yourself, like, God, like Collin, like you just suck, or man, you can't do anything right. Like, it shatters your confidence. But when you just like, hey man, you look good, or hey man, you're gonna crush this, you're confident.
Yeah.
That it really changes your internal. Like the message going on in your brain. That's cool. Can re-hardwire yourself.
Yeah.
And think positively.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, you know, the love languages, we've talked about that. It's like, for me, I'm words of affirmation, you know? So it's like when people say, hey man, you're doing great. And like
Gary Chapman, the 5 love languages. It's so worth like.
Do you know the rule on that? What he did? So the original book was colored purple.
Oh.
And so
mine is purple, my copy
but men wouldn't read it. And so what he did is he switched the cover to blue.
Huh.
And he sold more units.
That's interesting.
Makes sense.
But you're the one with the fun fact today.
What's my fun fact?
No, because I usually have all the nerdy statistics and fun facts, and now you're the one coming up with that.
Dude, when we get to the episode about pop culture and just useless, I'm king on that.
Yeah, we're gonna pick your brain about superheroes,
movies, whatever, superheroes. Yeah,
but I mean, seriously, guys, the 5 love languages.
Yeah, for sure.
I get how it sounds like
easy
girly or whatever, but you can read this thing in an hour, and it's so true. It's like not only will it help in your personal relationships, but like business, friends, like you can find it out. Just pay attention to what people's are. Yeah. And it makes a huge difference.
At the end of the book, too, you can also do the tests. So it's like 100 question, multiple choice, whatever.
It takes 5 minutes.
Yeah, you just fly through it. It's like, do you like this or this or this? A, B, or C. And then you pick it, and it's like, I tried it out, and it was dead on. You know, my 2 love languages. I mean, some people can trickle into 3, but potentially they try to do the 2 main ones. Yeah. You have like your major and then your minor or whatever.
Yep,
but
typically.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's with everything. It's just people miscommunicate. And it's either their personal then affects the business then affects their personal. I mean, I've had it happen both to me,
Well, yeah, just think about that. Someone whose love language is like acts of service.
Sure.
Like, you need to do stuff for me. You need to show me that you belong here. And like, their love language might be words of affirmation. Totally. And if they never say thank you or do that thing, and like that's just, it's nothing wrong. That's just how those two are wired, and they don't fix that communication issue. There's going to be a problem. Someone's going to not feel appreciated.
Yeah, it's almost like, it just totally is like, duh. Yeah. Like, when you read the 5 languages, you're like, you almost feel stupid. You're
how did I not know this?
How did I not know that?
Yeah, I think they should start teaching that in schools.
They should,
like,
for
that's,
sure.
It's so accurate.
Yeah, it'll help out a lot, man, I think. And then when you can try to rewire or just take a step back for a second, think about what's going on and, be pretty thankful for stuff. It's like, sometimes, I don't know, maybe it's a chemical imbalance that throws people off, that makes them all of a sudden like, why am I so in a funk today? And then, having someone come in that we were talking about how, he's like, oh, you motivate me, dude. This is awesome. Script, and it's like, a lot of times we just work. And like we were talking before, we're on our phones. And we're like so absorbed into like what's going on. And then when you just have someone, you don't realize actually truly who you are affecting.
No.
And so that, and I know it's a lot more than people think, and it's as simple as having a brand or, if it's music as an artist or whatever you do, it's like you really do affect more people than you think. So
yeah,
it's pretty cool.
It is. I mean, just like if you're I remember this when I was working at an ad agency, just saying hi to people or having someone say hi to me like, hey, how's it going, man? How did, your last night's game go when you played hockey?
Totally.
And it's like that can totally make your morning. It doesn't have to be earth-shattering.
Well, and also it's not the mindless bullshit combo though. I hate that.
Oh, the nice weather we're having.
Yeah, it's like, no, I like when people like kind of give a shit. And they're like, oh, what's up, dude? You can just tell in their tone.
Go? Yeah.
Yeah. So just try to do that, people. Be a little more positive. And
it takes 2 seconds. Like, there's an exercise too. This is my turn to be a nerdy statistic.
Nice.
Try this, guys. Seriously, go out and say 3 like nice compliments or just nice things to someone. Anybody in the day. Like, if a waitress comes up, be like, oh, I like your shirt, or I like your hair, or like, tell a coworker like, hey man, you're doing a really good job today. Yeah. Just say it. Like, it can be that simple, and like it makes you feel better. It really does.
Yeah, it does. It's like I like getting gifts, but I actually like giving gifts more than getting
I'm a big gift giver. Yeah. I get my satisfaction from like watching the reaction on people's faces.
For sure.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I did that to a girl at the gym, like her and her husband trained there, and I noticed like, oh, she totally switched out her hair color. It's like, oh, it looks really cool, by the way, your hair. And she was like, what? Like freaked out for a second. And I'm like,
she noticed it the next
your
day,
hair
right?
color. Yeah. Like, you changed it. It was like light, and now it's dark. Looks really good. Nice. Whoever did it, they did a great job. It looks good on you. Being polite, walked away. Didn't think of it the next day. She's like, hey, how are you? Like, super chatty. It's like, dude, it totally just changed that dynamic. So, yeah, for sure. More people just.
By the way, guys, girls love it when you notice that stuff. Yeah. Just to throw
things.
That out there. Those little things. They love it.
For sure.
But I think also just kind of getting back to what we were talking about in how do you get out of a funk? Yeah. I would say, like, obviously, the things we were just suggesting you can try, I think, like, lava lamps or salt lamps. Like, that's the thing if it's, like, weather affected. But I think the biggest part, and we'll get into this, is number one, having a safe space. So whether that's your bedroom, whether that's an apartment, whether that's your house,
brother.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like, your Zen
sure.
space. That, like, it's just yours. You can go in there. It is so important to have a recovery space.
For sure.
Something where you can go that is your space, that is your safe place, recharge, recover, get back out there and.
I mean, I'll be real with you right now. I think for me, I'm in a seasonal depression funk hard because pretty much the snow's all gone and it's actually warm out.
Yeah, but it's going to snow the next 2 days.
And in 2 days, we're getting like 12 inches. Yeah. Like, dude, it's to the point now I'm like, I'm
over it.
It's mid-April. And then, like we talked before, it's like you see stuff online. People are like, it's 90, it's 80 and sunny and palm trees. I'm like, dude.
Just remember Hawaii, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, but I think that's the other thing too. Maybe a goal for me is I just got to travel more, especially in the wintertime. Like
Optimal Health, by the way, guys, says you should take 3 vacations a year. And it doesn't have to be like all expense paid trip to Guatemala. This can be like as simple as driving an hour away and going to a cabin. Yeah,
I mean, I know that when I'm in warm weather, my body responds better. I physically, mentally am just more charged up. It's totally the vitamin D, just gets me in a better spot. So
it's probably just relaxing,
totally
just not doing anything for a day or a week.
And it does make life just a little more at ease when the weather's good. So I think my goal is to do that. That's I'm noticing. The interesting thing too is I've noticed as I get older, I'm more affected by it. That's kind of interesting. I've noticed that. So I'm only 33 now, but I've noticed that weather and climate change does affect my mood, and if it hits me a little bit harder.
It affects my mood too.
Yeah.
Like usually if there's a huge storm, sometimes I'm into them, but a lot of the times it's like, okay, this sucks.
Yeah, totally.
So I get that.
Yeah, I mean, whatever outlet it is, man, I just say write a list down. What are things you like to do that are potential stress relievers, and then write them down. If it's, hey, I got to get a workout in. Okay, now I got to go do this. I got to meet this friend for lunch because when we talk, let's just get coffee.
Dude.
Reading a book, huge. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like weird. I have a clothing line, and like sometimes like I just want to go spend money. Not just to spend it like I have a lot of money or anything like that. It's just I want to just go see what's out there. It's because
something nice.
Yeah, because for me, it's like I'm always on to like what's new colors, what's new patterns, and all this stuff. It's kind of geeky, whatever. But I love looking at like new product stuff and like seeing what's trending and what's out there, and you're kind of like, ooh, I'm not vibing that. What seasonal stuff has come out? So for me, I kind of like doing that, which is really weird for some people. So, but yeah, man, sometimes it's like getting a new pair of shoes. You're like, damn, I feel good now. I got a new pair of shoes. Sweet. For sure. Simple stuff.
And then that support system. That was the other thing. It's like, have just a friend or someone if you're really having a bad day, just, we said this before on the mental health episode, say it again, like, do not be afraid to talk to someone.
Absolutely not.
Like, just, have that support system, guys. It's important.
It is, for sure. So, I mean, if you guys ever have, questions or comments, concerns, ideas, hit us up. It's funny going from being in a funk to doing a lot better within 24 hours. It's normal, guys. It happens to everybody. Doesn't matter what level of whatever you're doing. If you're in college, you're in high school, if you're running a company that has 50 employees and you're worth 30 million, whatever. It's all the same. We're all people. So, just make sure you find avenues that'll work for you. And it's a process. Make sure you understand that too. People think they need the answer right away. You're going to get in funks, I've realized. They ebb and flow at different levels. But pay attention. It's almost like a diet. When you're eating correctly and you journal, we've talked about that. It's the same thing here is you have to kind of look at, okay, last time, what made me kind of get in a funk? Think about it. Write it down. What was going on in your life?
Yeah.
Fast forward to the next you got in a funk or in a rut. What happened? Is there any similarity? Is there something you did that correlated from the first time to the second time? And if it is, then that might be the issue. So it's important. Pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah, it's getting to know yourself on a deeper level. And that, that process, it never really stops.
For sure.
So,
yeah.
And people change. They do. I am so much different.
Always.
I'm in my late 20s than when I was in college. Like huge difference.
Yeah, man. There's never stop learning shit. So
definitely,
it's the fun part. Anything else you got?
Did we give a shout out yet to the new spring line?
We did it. So now, it's out. Well, by the time this airs, it's already going to be out. So it's just 6 new items. So we got 2 T-shirts, unisex tees, 2 men's tank tops, 2 girls' shirts. And then, no joke, looking at the whiteboard, we have a really dope limited edition like camo hoodie we're dropping. Another cool design that David Brule, the tattoo artist, did. He did 2 new designs we have come out. It's a mermaid, a tatted up mermaid, a panther one. So yeah, we're gonna keep things rolling. Oh, and another thing, the Strength Prevails that did so well that David did, we're dropping that on a hoodie because so many requests. People are like, just do a normal hoodie, but it's gonna be more of a spring style hoodie. Yeah, a little bit thinner, lighter weight, kind of what you're wearing right now. So we're super pumped. We got a lot of stuff coming with him. Yeah, so it's gonna be fun. Spring's gonna be rad. We got some possible cool tours coming up in the works that we might want to announce pretty soon here that we might be sponsoring. So
sponsor my hockey team for next year.
Sponsor your hockey team. Sick. Everyone has to get face tats, so sorry, bro.
Ooh,
it's credentials. No,
maybe.
Yeah, so we got a lot of cool stuff, and we're excited. This is one of the new shirts, but yeah, I mean, we appreciate your support, and make sure you guys, as you're tuning in, the only thing we ask is just refer a friend. You know, we're here to bring content, material. We haven't gotten any this last week, but we hope to get more people back on it. But hit up podcast@ironingfitness.com. Send us an email, drop us a line.
Twitter.
Hit up, Collin runs the Twitter tweets, so hit him up if you have any questions or want to chat about anything, because what we like to do is involve you guys in the episodes. Mm-hmm. It can be anything. So feel free, hit us up. We're here, and thanks for your support. We're going to keep rocking this train.
Absolutely, and don't forget to use podcast as a discount code for 10%
10% off.
And that they can do it in the new spring line too, guys.
Anything you want, guys. So yeah, just type in podcast and we'll hook you up. So
yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Later, guys. Peace.